¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Muy buenas noches. Bienvenidos al 15 de hoy. Hoy vamos a ir hasta París para hablar de esta joya que me llegó hace como 2 o 3 semanas y me da muchísimo gusto. Y ahora voy a empezar a hablar en inglés. Saludar a Benjamin Lacombe, que está hasta París. Benjamin, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm fine. And you?
Fine. So I was saying that I got these, like, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, and we wanted to talk to you. And first question: this was an idea that came between you two, or it was your idea? It was, how did the idea of exploring what motherhood is came about?
At the very beginning, it was my idea that I asked Sebastian if he was interested because, you know, I'm having 39 now, and in my age, there is a lot of baby around, and also a lot of women that doesn't have baby and doesn't want baby, and many people that are saying, why? That's not natural, and I was asking myself, what is natural? And this was the beginning of it. And looking at nature, I found there is quite various possibility of family.
I love your answer because I didn't imagine this answer but it is true. We live in a time where motherhood is under questions that was not for my parents or my grandparents or maybe your parents. The question about motherhood was not there. No, about parenthood, there was not a question. That was something you did. No, if you found the right person, etc. But now we live in those times, isn't it? I mean, very interesting. No.
Yeah, and we're living in a time of changing as well. You know, the family are evolving. The way we see family, you know, it's possible now to have a baby if you're a woman alone, a man alone, 2 men, 2 women, and this is a very interesting time because it makes us think of what is a family and how you raise a kid. You know, because. And this book is basically about that, about the fact that what is important is a bond, is a link, is the fact to raise a kid, loving a kid, and this is the best way to be the best mother in the world.
And you said we're living in diversity times, and your question when you said, okay, if we're going to ask this question seriously, let's look at nature. And it's amazing the diversity that you found in nature. And what is to be a mother?
Exactly. And Sebastian, that did the text, Sebastian Perez, did a lot of research because everything that is said in the book is true. You know, this is basically what is happening in nature. And it's very interesting also to see that in nature, there is no question, no dogmatic question of how you should raise a kid, you know, like, and the only species that is dogmatic about this question is human species, but we are animal like the other, so we should be more open.
Yeah, because when you see the book and you say, okay, now let's question myself. Do I want a mother like a white shark? Would if I love the mother like the bear? No, it's never. You just start questioning yourself and you say, okay.
If you're a mother of a chicken, like the white shark,
would have liked. I like to be a chicken.
Yeah, but because if you're a mother like a white shark, you have problems because the kid of the mother of the white shark is difficult kid. We can say so because they're trying to eat each other every time. So this motherhood is a complicated one.
And the other part is that mothers basically are so different. And it depends a lot of what kind of kids they have, no? As what the small sharks are doing, or what the small bears want, or what the dog wants, etc. It has to do about, okay, what kind of kids do I have? Do you know how much do I have to take care of them or not, etc., etc. No?
This is basically what this book is about. My mother is a psychologist in the Ministry of Justice in France, specialized in youth and children. And I asked her about, because there is a lot of people that is asking and telling, to raise a kid, you should have a male and female parents. This is the best way for the kid to be, to have everything he needs. And I asked her about that. Is that true? And what she told me was, this is not what is the problem. The problem is how the kid is raised. If the kid feels loved, by his parent, and if the kid feel that the parents are doing the best they can. It can be raised by a woman alone, two men, a grandparents. It depends, and what does that say is that you have to adapt yourself to your kid, because there is no a perfect family. And she showed me an example, you can have a kid that is in a very wealthy family with a lot of money, two parents, a man and a woman, but with no love, with no connection, physical connection, no tenderness, nothing. And the kid will have problem growing up because he will have distance between, the other human being, because he wouldn't have experienced that during the childhood. So basically this book, and if you look at nature, you see you have to adapt yourself also to your condition.
Again, the differences. I love this drawing, by the way. I love this painting. It's absolutely, but I love the story about turtles, because she does everything to protect them. Everything goes, puts them away, erases every track that they are there. But there is a moment when the turtle says, okay, now it's your turn to get back to the sea, and I cannot do anything about that because I've done everything else. I love that part about, you know what? I've done everything I can to protect you, but you know what? Now it's your turn, which I think it's amazing. And of course, with this thing, beautiful.
Thank you.
But
this is the main part. It is about, parenting is about giving everything to your kid to be able to have a good life and, be prepared for life. So for the mother turtle, she did the best she can. And after, it's life.
Now, at the beginning, you talked about the moments we're living now, and mothers or women and men thinking about, should we be parents or not? But when you were writing it and painting and thinking about the book, I think a lot of writers and a lot of artists think about the public. Did you think about certain public in a specific that you would love to have this? I mean, those mothers that are thinking, kids that maybe question their mothers and parents now. Did you think about a specific guy buying and reading this book when you were doing it?
I really tried to make a book for almost everybody, because everybody has a mother. So it can be give as a gift to every mother, and also everybody can have question about nature and, people. So it was really a book that I wanted to, for almost everybody. It's not, like only for this type of people. It is the most universal possible.
Yeah, because the questions are questions that survive time. Because I'm sure that grandparents are also thinking, why was I a parent? And could I be a better or a worse parent? And why did these kids came out so good? No, what did I do? Because sometimes parents, we don't know if a kid comes out well and doing good. We don't know exactly what we did. We would lie to ourselves if we think we know what we did, that a kid comes out well and healthy and all of that. No?
There is not only one recipe, to be a good mother or good father. Or it's hard to raise kids, and it's hard to raise kids even in a time where things are changing so much. When I was raised, there wasn't social networks, there wasn't all of that, and this is changing a lot. It's making the thing more difficult. It's making other thing more easier. For example, now you can have cellular. You can communicate with your kid even when they are far, which is a good thing, and also can be a bad thing as well for the kids. So
because you don't know what the kids are doing, huh?
Yeah, things are changing, and it's hard to be a parent. And I think we have to not be so hard on ourselves and not too hard on our parents, because this is not an easy.
Yeah. And it's amazing because I discovered, and I've been doing this for a long time, how this guy, I didn't even know they cared.
Yeah.
Until I saw it and I read it. I really didn't even know that, that they care. So it's also about discovery of things that we didn't know, no?
I didn't know it by myself. Yeah, it was a discovery for me as well, because he was even taking care of the kid, physically. It's amazing.
Yeah, I never thought about that. So now it's in Spanish. I guess it's in French. It's traveling the world.
Yeah, there is, for the moment, I think 14 languages that are coming the upcoming year. So it's cool. It's cool to see that this book will be, read in so many languages by so many different people, because it's also about the diversity of culture, because it can be a metaphor of that as well.
It's all about diversity, and I think that's why it's traveling as it's traveling, and I think that's why it's so enjoyable. And I hope a lot of people that are having and thinking and deciding get this to help them decide, because I think it's a book that will help a lot of people decide and think better and think about this. So, Benjamin, thanks for everything. La Mejor Mamá del Mundo se vende ya en todas partes, está en todas las librerías. Vayan, pónganse a leer. Thanks for this conversation. Goodbye and thank you, Benjamin.
Muchísimas gracias.